Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to look at the Dolly Varden Silver Company. That was a recommendation to look at from a viewer, so thank you for the recommendation. I hope you find this video informative. I've been away for the past couple days, so I've missed the entire carnage in the silver market. I just came back this morning from a big hike, and I saw that silver was down about 10% in the last couple days. I mean, it's a very volatile market. I hope that nobody is panicking right now and that you are all just taking a big step back and just look at how far we've come from the mid 20s to the upper 50s in just a couple months. A pullback like this is quite to be expected, I would imagine. But today we're gonna see if the Dolly Varden Silver Company is a good value or not at these silver prices. We're gonna do that by looking at the management, the project, the capital structure, the balance sheet, some additional details, and at the end I will summarize everything and give my personal opinion about this. So first of all, the management of this company. We start with Sean Kunkan, the CEO. He's been the CEO since February of 2020. Sorry, that was a typo. He is also the director of Gold X2 and StrikePoint Gold. Gold X2, I also made a video about that. So if you are interested to see more about that company, go and watch that video. He is also an advisor for West Red Lake. That's an Australian gold company, for Nations Royalty, and for Next Gold. Next Gold is also a company that I've already made a video about, so if you're interested in that, go and check that out. In the video I made about Gold X2 mining, I noted that Sean was a little bit of a financial guy, a money guy, because he raised so much money in his career, and he has a high net worth individuals that follow him around and invest with him. You're gonna see more about that in the share structure of this video. But I still hold that opinion that this is a finance guy getting into the mining space. We have Anne Fur, that's the CFO. Couldn't really find much about her on the internet, but she's been the CFO since 2020, and this is a part-time job for her. She has 25 years of experience, about 18 of those as CFOs, as CFO in different small mining companies. So she does know what she's doing. And the Vice President of Exploration, Robert van Egmond, he brings 30 years of experience in a very wide variety of exploration stories. He's been involved in the grassroots exploration, that is exploration with no previous indication of a resource, so that no drilling has been done, no studies have been done. It's just drilling to see if you find something, up until the pre-feasibility stage where you have a deposit and you're going to look at turning that deposit into a economical mine. He has a very extensive background and some really noteworthy companies that he's worked with. He's worked with Platinum Group Metals, which have a resource of 10 million ounces of platinum and 20 million ounces of palladium. He has worked with Alta Copper, which is a pre-feasibility stage 2.66 billion ton copper project. That's a very large copper project, but he is also the Vice President of Exploration at Northern Dynasty. That is a 50 billion ton copper project and a 50 million ounce gold project that is based in Alaska. It is extremely low grade, and especially in Alaska with very high infrastructure costs, it will be interesting to see how that develops. But the project has been vetoed by the Biden administration during his presidency, and they are currently in a legal battle to see if that veto can be overthrown or not. So you see that this guy has a lot of experience in a lot of different companies with different resources. See, if this guy was a company himself, his stated resource would be one of the biggest in the world. So that is very impressive for one man to be part of all those projects. They also have a board of directors. A couple interesting things there is that we see the same names come up with different companies that we look at. You see Robert McLeod. He is the director of Next Gold as well, and an advisor to West Red Lake. And you see Michael Henrich, which is the CEO of Gold X2 Mining. So you see that multiple names come back and multiple stories because these people are connected to each other within their careers and within their social circles. But another director that is pretty interesting is James James Sabala. He is a retired CEO of Hecla Mining, which is a almost $9 billion mining company, and the ex-CFO of Conure Mining, a $12 billion company, and the ex-CFO of Sibanye-Stillwater, a $8 billion mining company. So this guy has worked at multiple extremely large mining companies and probably knows the ins and outs of the industry, geology, mining, and finance of that. You can see why Hecla Mining will come back in this presentation a little bit later. That is because the projects that Dolly Varden owns are located next to the Hecla Mining Company. So they have always had a little bit of a relationship with each other just because of the locations of their projects. So talking about the project, you can see here a map of the Golden Triangle in Canada. If you want to know where that is, just Google Golden Triangle, and then it's a very famous mining region. Then it will just instantly pop up and you can learn a little bit more about it. I'm not going to go into it right now. But Dolly Varden owns a big piece of the bottom half of the triangle. You can see the blue in this picture is the project that Dolly Varden owns. It is a past producing mine with a mineral resource done right now. And the mineral resource that is still left there is 29.2 million ounces of silver and 800,000 ounces of gold in the inferred resource category. They also have indicated resources. They have no measured resources. We'll look at that a little bit later. But it is a rather small silver and gold deposit. A little bit interesting about this deposit is that it was first discovered in the 1900s, in 1910, and it has been mined since 1919. So there has been a lot of mining done in this property already. And Dolly Varden has been exploring the property since 2011, and recently they have bought an adjacent property with another discovery about 5 kilometers apart. And they are hoping to see if those two properties that they now own, the two separate deposits that they own, if they are connected in between, creating a big deposit. So you can see that here. What you see here, the blue part of this image is this part right here. This is the current project outline of Dolly Varden, and you can see that they have a dark blue imagery and they have a somewhat more green imagery. These are two different deposits that the company now controls. Previously, before I think it was 2023, they only had this deposit, but they've bought the other one, and they are currently drilling to see if these two deposits connect and create something bigger. You can see in the light blue around it is a whole big piece of property that they haven't been drilling and exploring yet. The company is currently looking at that as well and looking to see if they can explore this piece of the property and see if there's more gold and silver to be found. So this is what that looks like in a little bit more technical terms. You can see the outlining of the deposit here and there, and the mountaintop right going right over it, and they are hoping to see if these two, this deposit right here and that deposit right here, with a distance of 5.4 kilometers between them, if they connect. As you can see, they have been drilling a couple holes in there. None of them really hit any resource, but the company is still trying, and they are still seeing what can be done. And this is really all that's to be said for the project right now. They are currently drilling another piece of the project they call the Big Bulk as well, but they don't have a resource there yet. And I don't want to use these presentations to start speculating about potential future discoveries. I really only want to look at what the company has right now as a resource and how to value that. On your own, you can look at that project and decide whether or not it is appropriate to start speculating on the potential for gold and silver to be found in the Big Bulk. But as far as I will judge it right now, the company has two deposits which they are looking to connect but haven't connected yet. But the two deposits that they currently have do have a resource. And so we can value that resource and see what the company could potentially be worth in a buyout and what it is currently worth in the open market right now. So if we look at the deposit, we can see that they have gold, silver, and copper in their deposit. They have about 1 million ounces of gold indicated and inferred combined, and about 64 million ounces of silver, again indicated and inferred combined. And you can see that they have about 270 million ounces of copper. This is not stated as such in the mineral resource. This is stated as pounds, as millions of pounds. But for my calculation, I need to use troy ounces. Otherwise, the calculation doesn't work. So, we have to work around that a little bit. If we put those values in the calculator right below it, we can see that this project has a maximum value at the roughly current commodity prices of 7.5 billion, which means that a 15% buyout value of that would be $1.1 billion, which is not the biggest. We've seen bigger ones, but I think with this company, what people are buying more isn't the current resource, but the potential for a bigger future resource. Whether that will come or not, that has to be seen. But as we can see, there are currently 87 million shares outstanding with a couple options and warrants, which give us a total diluted share count of 90.5 million. The share price for this company is rather high for a company in this stage of exploration. It's $4.33, giving them almost a market cap of almost 400 million. And with the share structure, it's pretty interesting for this company. You see that the structure, it's pretty tight with a high share price, and they have extremely big amounts of institutional and professional investors that are involved with this company. The Hecla Mining Company owns 13.7% of the company, and that's why the ex-CEO of the Hecla Mining Company is on the board of directors with this company. They've always been closely related due to the distance of their projects, and now the ex-CEO is advising the company that is advising the company as well. So you see that there's a relationship between these two. So what might possibly happen in the future is if they end up finding more, that Hekla will potentially be able to buy them out, given the connections that they have already established. You can see that the Fury Gold Mines also owns 13.5% of the company, and Eric Sprott owns 9.5%. I couldn't find any information about the insiders of this company, the ownership about them, but the company did provide a detailed list of the big investors, meaning the institutional and professional investors, and the retail investments. And you can see that 87% of the stock is held by institutional and big investors, and only 13% is held by the public as retail investors. That is very tight. That gives this stock the potential to move very quickly, given the fact that these big and institutional investors don't usually trade these stocks on a day-to-day basis. And if retail gets excited about something, or if they get depressed about something, the swings in their trading tend to be bigger. And if only a very small part is traded by the retail investor, that means that that small part has the potential to impact the share price a lot quicker. So, take that as you will with the current market cap that they have. If we look at the balance sheet of the company, you can see that the CEO, being a finance guy, really expresses itself in here, because you see that the company currently has since their last financial statement on 30 July 2025, the company had 52 million in cash, which is extremely high for a exploration company. Usually these companies struggle to get financing, but Dolly, Varden, Silver has managed it to attract loads of capital over the past, and they are currently still doing it. They have liabilities of 5 million, and they have about 3 million in G&A expenses, of which I couldn't find any salary costs in their financial statements. So that's probably combined in the other statements that they've made. But what I did find was a lot of professional fees. The company has spent $2 million on professional fees in the 3 months ending in 30 July. About $1 million of that, 915,000, was marketing expenses. And what this company lacks for a current resource, it does gain for marketing activities, because the website of this company, it looks extremely slick. It looks very good. The imagery that they give and the renders that they have also look amazing. This company is very active on Twitter and on social media. The CEO is doing a lot of interviews with YouTube channels and podcasts and whatever. So you see this name pop up everywhere, and that is expressed by the almost $1 million of marketing expenses that they do, because that exposure doesn't come for free. The shareholder needs to pay for that. But the CEO then uses that and his connections to raise the money that they need to go on exploring this project. So you can make up your own opinion whether that is good or not. You can also see that they've paid out about $500,000 in share-based payments, and about $400,000 in office and administration expenses. Against those $3 million in G&A activities, you have $7.5 million in exploration expenses. And judging by the financial statements, it does look like all these expenses do really go to the projects and the exploration of it. So I do have to give them credit for the fact that they spend most of the money that they earn by selling shares on exploring the company, the project, with a exploration to G&A ratio of about 28%, total loss of 10.5 million. And because their share price is so high, this company can slowly tap into that high share price by selling expensive shares. Well, of course, as it implies. So they've only sold 7.8 million shares to raise that 10.5 million for a dilution rate of 8.6%. That is pretty low. And given the fact that they also spend most of this money on the exploration, it does look like this company has created a good machine for raising cheap capital to then spend on exploration to fund their own marketing funnel and to put a very positive light on this company. If you own this stock, expect to be diluted about 45% every year because of this dilution rate that they have. What else about this balance sheet? I think that was it. We can look at the recent events. You can see that Dolly Varden has raised another $34 million in a financing. I don't really understand why they would need more money than they already have, because in the last financial statements, which are a couple months old, they had 50 million in cash. Given a burn rate of about 10 million, they would still have about 40 million right now. To then add another 35 on top of that, I don't see why this company would need $75 million in cash right now. And I don't understand what they are planning to do with this, because there's no exploration program out there that requires $75 million in cash, especially not on a project that is of this size, just 5 kilometers. That is something that I don't really understand, but maybe it becomes clear in the future when the CEO reveals his big plan for all of this money that he's raising. With that money, they have increased the scope of their drilling program. So they are drilling with 5 drills at the same time. So that is a very expensive drilling program, and hopefully they will turn those expenses in value as well by increasing the resource, but that has to be seen if that works. In one of their later press releases, they also stated that they have entered into another marketing agreement with another marketing server, meaning that they are really doubling down still on the marketing of this company. And that is something that I thought was really interesting. So in my opinion, this stock is highly priced compared to the potential buyout value that the deposit has. The company talks a lot about the stock price itself in their presentation, and I don't like that at all, because it makes them look like they only care about the stock price going up and not about the fundamental growth of the deposit that they currently have. It's probably not the view of the company, but it does seem that way when you talk about your stock price a lot in the presentations. The property that they do have has exploration potential with a lot of cash to back it up. So if you buy this company right now for about 400 million, you're getting about 75 million of that back just in straight cash. And that is something that is quite rare in this industry. They have a good marketing team, a slick website. The CEO is in interviews. He talks to a lot of the experts in the industry, and it's a known name. But they do spend $1 million a quarter on that marketing expense. And without that marketing team, I wouldn't understand why this stock would be this highly priced. It's a stock that's not held by retail a lot. Only 13% of the stock is traded by retail, which gives the stock a lot more volatility. And if the marketing is then done correctly, this stock would go up with a lot of retail participation in it. And for me, the share price is too high right now, and they have to prove up a lot more ounces for me to consider this stock cheap. So do with that as you will. It's not a cheap stock right now. They do have exploration potential and a lot of cash. And apparently the company is able to raise a lot more cash very cheaply. That was it for this video about Dolly, Varden Silver. If you would like to see another stock in a presentation like this, leave it in the comments. I'll look at it and I'll make a presentation about it. Like the video as well, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at SilverLiningAnalysis. And then I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.